Alright, so you're going to be navigating waters that are unfamiliar to yourself, and you're looking for some tips and tricks on how to actually have a more successful time and have a better time overall out on the water when you're navigating these new waters. Well, guess what? You guys clicked on the right video. Or you're just a loyal Livin Salty subscriber, and that I really appreciate. What is going on, guys? Ryan from Livin Salty here, and welcome back to another video. Today I have my top 5 tips and tricks to navigating waters that are unfamiliar to you. So this video idea actually popped in my head because you guys might not know, but I am from New York, from Long Island, New York, born and raised. But we actually just moved down here officially full time. I've been going to college down here, but I'm graduated now. And right now I'm living in the Palm Beach area, and my parents actually just bought a house. They're up by like the Fort Pierce area. So that area is going to be completely new for us to navigate. And when we've gone through there, you know, it can be a little scary at first when you don't know where you're going. You don't know the shallow parts, deep parts, navigating inlets, which is really important because we learned our lesson already with Fort Pierce Inlet. It's a very special inlet. But yeah, traveling through uncharted waters for you can be very scary. So I'm here to help you guys and give you my top 5 tips. So let's dive right into it. All right, so for tip number 1, we are going to say to go and check out Google Maps or something like Navionics way before you're planning on going out. Not the night before or anything like that. Try to do it like a couple weeks ahead of time. Try to learn the area. Something like Navionics is a really in-depth nautical chart that shows you water depths and stuff like that, and the channels and buoys and markers to look out for. It's extremely helpful. Honestly, I think it's only like $15 a year or something like that. It's insanely cheap. So I highly recommend you guys use something like that. And if you don't want to pay for Navionics, then you can use Google Maps. It's not as good, but using Google Maps, you can still get a general idea of some shallow areas to avoid, some channels and everything you want to stay in between. And overall, you can get a feel for the land. So when you're going out there, it's not completely new. You say, all right, gotta come down here, and then the inlet's gonna be on the left side, and I know there's a cut through here, but I can't go that way. I have to go the long way all the way around. Something like that you can find out through Google Maps and just become familiar with the area before you just go in and have a good time. All right, so tip number 2 is going to be local knowledge. Now you might be thinking, Ryan, why is this a tip? We don't have local knowledge. How are we going to be able to navigate? Well, there are some people, I guarantee, in your area, if you're by the water, that do have local knowledge that will most likely share it with you, and that is the local tackle shops. You guys, it's always great to go support your local tackle shops anyway to keep them around because, you know, face it, is that it's not a huge business for these guys. They really rely on us people to go buy our gear and buy our shrimp and our bait and everything like that from these local tackle shops. So first off, make sure you guys go support your local tackle shops. And if you do, the more you support it, the more you become friendly with these people. They'll help you out maybe with some fishing tips and stuff like that. But I'm sure if you walk into your local tackle shop, as long as they're nice people and it's a good reputable shop, then you can go in and ask them like, hey, what areas should I avoid? Is there any tips for navigating this inlet? Or any just kind of local knowledge you can pull from them. These guys have been around probably for a really long time, and if they haven't, if they're young, they've probably been on the water their entire lives in that local area and really know the waters. So make sure you guys use your people at your local tackle shop. That's what they're there for. Pick their brains a little bit and find out the local knowledge for yourself. Okay, so for my 3rd tip, guys, might sound really basic, but if you're a beginner, you might not know this, and I've certainly seen many of people run grounds and stuff like that because they don't follow this tip, and that's to just stay between the channel markers, guys. There are going to be people when you're out running on their boats and stuff that go off out of the channel markers, or, you know, they'll be flying through the intracoastal, and even if they cut it just a couple feet outside of the channel, you know, might think that might not make a big difference. But let me tell you, I'm here to tell you that it can make a huge difference because they dredge some of these channels. Depends on where you are. And if you come just outside of the channel, then you could be instantly running aground. It just depends on your local area, but you definitely want to stay within the channel markers if you guys don't know where you're going. Even if you guys see that boat that swerves around the channel markers or makes some different cut outside, looks like a shortcut, either they don't know what they're doing or they are local and know exactly what they're doing. Either way, it's best not to follow them. You'll be perfectly fine if you just stay within the channel markers. Now, if you guys are in Florida on the East Coast and you're traveling the Intracoastal Waterway, I'm here to let you guys in on a little secret. So you guys know the rule of red right return. It's a general rule that when you're coming from the bigger body of water, returning to a small, so for example, when you're coming from the ocean through an inlet back into the intracoastal, the red buoys are going to be on your right side, the green buoys are going to be on your left side. That's why they say red right return. It means the red buoy will be on the right side when you're returning from the bigger body of water to the smaller body of water or into a marina or anything like that. Well, when you're going up and down the intracoastal, north and south, you're not really going in between bodies of water. So you might be wondering, well, is the red buoy going to be on my right side or my left side? Because guys, sometimes these channel markers in the intracoastal, sometimes they're just a singular marker. Maybe it's just a red buoy, maybe it's just a green buoy. And that doesn't mean that you can go completely off to one side or another. You have to know your navigation. So to help you out with this, if there's just one buoy in the intracoastal and there's just one green marker or just one red marker by itself, the red buoy is always going to be on land side. So yeah, when you're traveling in the intracoastal, just know that the red buoy is going to be towards the mainland and the green buoy is going to be towards the ocean. And if you guys stick through that, whether it's opposite or not, so we have the ocean here, the green buoy here, ocean's over here, red buoy here, mainland's over here, or vice versa. So we have red buoy here, and then we got mainlands here, green buoy here, and then we have ocean over here. Regardless, so just follow those general rules and then you guys will be okay. Not very often that there's not two channel markers, so you guys can just stay in between. But if there aren't, that's what you guys would do. Okay, so for tip number 4, I think this one's really important, guys. Go slow when you guys are going. You guys don't need to fly down the intracoastal at 50 miles an hour because that's what your boat can do and that's what everyone else is doing. If you guys don't know the water, take it slow. I'm not telling you to go idle speed because in some cases that could just be dangerous, but you don't need to be full guns a-blazing. Just know that if you hit a sandbar or something like that, the slower you're going, the better off you are. Just like when you guys are docking, they say that only go as fast as you want to hit the dock. You know, it's something we've always been told and growing up when I've been docking the boat and stuff. Only go as fast as you want to hit the dock. So that's not going to be the general case when you're navigating all the waters, but just keep that kind of saying in mind generally. Don't be speeding around. And here's part 2 to this tip is that don't go out for the first time with a party of people. Don't go out, bring all your friends and everything like that. Go out, navigate the waters by yourself or with 1 or 2 other people, not all your friends that are going to be drinking and having a good time on the boat. You know, navigate the waters, become familiar by yourself if you can. Granted, there's a lot of situations where you don't have that luxury of going out by yourself beforehand, but there is a YouTuber that I watch. I'm not going to call him out or anything like that. I'm just using them as an example. They did a build of a boat and they put it in the water for its very first test run. And they completely redid everything on this boat. And the very first time they went out with a bunch of people that were in there drinking, and they went out at night, which are just 2 big no-nos. Especially for them, it's because they were testing a boat, but also for navigating waters, it's kind of the same thing. Don't want to go out at night because it just makes everything more difficult, and don't go out with a big crowd of people. Okay, last but not least, tip number 5, and honestly, I have to do a better job of this one myself personally, and that's to prepare the night before, guys. You lose so much time in the morning. Trust me, I'm telling this from experience. You lose so much time in the morning when you're trying to get everything together and you always forget things and it's just a disaster. Prepare the night before. Have your boat, if you're trailing, have your boat hooked up. Have your rods ready to go, either inside your boat, inside your car if you can leave them there. If not, then leave them inside, whatever. Have your tackle ready to go. Have your lunches ready to go. Have your water ready to go. Any other drinks. Bathing suits, towels, sunscreen, any fishing gear you might need, all that kind of stuff. Bring everything, gather it the night before. That way you can wake up, you know, have your coffee in the morning, do what you want. I don't drink coffee, so you guys can do what you want in the morning. And then all you have to do is just either load up the car and go, or it's already loaded. All you got to do, hop in and go. You guys will be so surprised how much time you save in the morning by just preparing the night before, and how much less stuff you forget because you prepare the night before. You're laying in bed and it's like, oh no, I forgot my favorite lure. It's outside hanging and drying from the last time I went fishing. There you go. If you guys were rushing in the morning, you would have forgotten your favorite lure. And that's not a good thing. You can't go out fishing without your favorite lure. So make sure you guys prepare the night before. It'll save you a lot of time, a lot of frustration, and overall will lead to better fishing days, especially when you're going through uncharted territories. All right, and that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Those are my top 5 tips and tricks to navigating new waters to help you guys out so you guys can overall have a better day on the water. If you guys liked this video and found it helpful, please hit the like button and consider subscribing down below. It really helps me out a lot. And if you guys like this video, I really think you guys should check out this video on the left side of the screen, where at the Miami Boat Show, I did a comparison of a bunch of different 23-foot center consoles that I liked. They were a pretty good price. And yeah, they were really good. You guys should definitely check out that video. It was really awesome. All right, guys, until my next video, remember to keep living salty.